Welcome to everyone. I'm Giada Malacarne, a research associate at Fraunhofer Italia, and I'm glad to be here today to present the first outcomes of a network initiative to foster the digital transformation in construction. The initiative is called the European Network for Digital Building Permit. So let's start introducing what a building permit is. A building permit is the authorization granted by public authorities that gives permission to start the construction phase of a building project. It consists of several steps where a great number of stakeholders are involved, using many pieces of information and still handled in analog formats. It is a manual, subjective, and often time-consuming process, and this results in ambiguity, inconsistency, and delays over the entire construction process. Fortunately, nowadays different technologies are mature enough for supporting the automation and the digital transformation of this type of process. I'm referring in particular to the 3D information systems such as BIM, GIS, and its 3D version, the 3D city model. Moreover, it has already been estimated that the amount of savings in cost, time, but also in improving of efficiency provided by the adoption of these systems in the topic of building permit are very significant. And based on the results, on the numbers that you can see in this slide, the building permit process is considered as a promising use case in the digital transformation of the construction sector. In fact, if we give a look to what is happening around the world on this topic, we can already map several pilot actions, research projects, and software developments. However, these experiences are very heterogeneous. Their point of view is usually characterized by a national stamp, so we have specific cases within municipalities at national level, at very regional level, or related to a specific type of regulations. Some experiences are supported by public authorities, some others are strictly connected to research, and some other again involve software developers and standardization bodies. So we have a high variety of stakeholders. Moreover, each experience is also characterized by a strong disciplinary stamp. So we have experiences in building permit and BIM, in building permit and GIS. However, each of these experiences and disciplines focus at the end on the same issues: open standards, smart codes, new services, guidelines, and process standards, highlighting that everyone at the end has to face the same issues in the field of technology, rules and requirements, and process. So, at the end, we came out with the fact that despite all these significant efforts, the industry has seen little progress towards a workable solution up to now. So there is a strong need to join all these efforts and the skills of individuals to enable a smart built environment. And this is the reason why a number of researchers, stakeholders, and organizations recently decided to start working together in an international network, the European Network for Digital Building Permit. The objective of the network is the identification of a strategy to develop digital building permits tools and methods to be largely implemented in a common effort. and also based on the outcomes from the state-of-the-art review, we decided to build up our network on 3 pillars: process, rules and requirements, and technologies. Members of the network come from a wide range of European countries and cover a wide range of expertise. We have research, which include universities, but also research institutes such as Fraunhofer Italia. We have government, including ministries, municipalities, and other public organizations, and also companies. We also have the support of 3 international organizations: Building Smart Regulatory Room, EURO-SDR, and the EU BIM Task Group. And here you can see how their interests intersect with the ones of the network. However, in a wide range of expertise, each of us has also its own ambitions for the digitalization of the building permit process. So, in order to analyze the ambitions of each member and towards a common ambition, a common vision, we organized a workshop. The scope of the workshop was to build up the vision of the network, which is described by a list of ambitions in a 10 years time frame, so a sort of roadmap, and a list of requirements needed to achieve these ambitions. Ambitions and requirements are not general, but are put in relation with the 3 pillars of the network. So 24 people coming from 13 European countries participated at the online event, which took place in May. During the workshop, we had a first section of activities called Collecting, and the scope of this section was to brainstorm a list of ambitions and of the requirements. Participants were divided into 3 groups, and a moderator was assigned to each group. For each group, the activity lasted 45 minutes, divided into 3 sessions of 15 minutes each, 1 for each pillar. For each session or pillar, the participants were asked to answer to 2 questions. What are your ambitions from the technology, rules and requirements and process point of view? And what do you think is currently missing to achieve these ambitions? Participants had 1 minute to answer to the questions, and then they had 30 seconds each to present their own answer to the others. The moderators guided the activity using Mentimeter, which is a web tool which supports the interaction of remote teams. And at the end of the collecting activity, the 3 moderators met virtually together to elaborate the results, which consisted in grouping similar answers and define clusters of answers. The second section of activities, called Sharing, was focused on sharing the results of the previous activity and on discussing together on it. One of the moderators presented the list of the ambitions that you can see here. For each pillar, in this case it's related with technology pillar, and the moderator asked to the participants to express their opinion about the amount of years needed to achieve each ambition. And this is the real-time results of the discussion. The same has been done for the requirements, so the moderator asked to the participants to express their opinion about the amount of effort required to have each requirement satisfied, and together with the amount of benefit produced by the satisfaction of each requirement. Here you can see the list of the requirements for technology. And this is the real-time results. Finally, in order to sum up all the discussion held during the event, the workshop concluded asking to the participants to describe each pillar in 3 keywords. Here you can see the word cloud of the technology pillar, and the idea was that these keywords will represent the principles driving the network activities in the next future. The workshop was followed by a post-processing phase, which consisted in a general review of the data collected, in simplifying the reading of the results. For example, the ambitions were classified in short-term, medium-term, and long-term ambitions, while requirements have been prioritized based on their position in the benefit effort graph, and in finalizing the word cloud, performing a qualitative analysis on them. For example, similar words such as communicate and communication have been considered as the same. The results of the ambitions, for example, from the results emerges that most of the short-term ambitions are related to the rules and requirements pillar, while the technology cover most of the long-term ambition. However, it should take into consideration that the general review of the data collected revealed that the formulation of the ambitions is possibly a bit inaccurate. For example, here you can see the list of all the ambitions, and some of them are stated more as actions than ambitions. For example, here you can see AC, that stands for action, but also R for requirements, and AM is for ambition. And the same can be stated also for the requirements. In fact, as you can see, requirements are listed without a reference to the 3 pillars, since it came out that many of them are valid for more than 1 pillar. For example, collaboration between software companies, SMEs, and research. The post-processing analysis of the word cloud confirmed the results from the workshop. However, the aggregation of similar words revealed that, for example, the word efficiency strongly prevailed on the other words for the process pillar. Instead, it was less prevailing from the results of the workshop. Interoperability is confirmed as the main keywords for technology, while in the rules and requirements pillar, the keyword machine readability results to have the same importance of simple, which is a bit different from the results of the workshop. Concluding, it can be stated that we identified the most relevant points for the network vision, roadmap, and agenda. The brainstorming session was probably too fast, revealing that ambitions and requirements are a bit inaccurate in their formulation. In fact, as a further step, a new set of ambitions, requirements, and also action we will propose to classify all the statements. And we think that would be very interesting to analyze all the data from the perspective of each type of expertise included into the network, and see which is the difference in priorities between an expertise and another. To know more about the network activities and results, you can also visit our website and follow us on Twitter. So thank you very much for your kind attention, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer. Thank you.